I ain't mute nothing.
Welcome to another episode of the Brothers Who Talk with Terry and AD. This podcast is about men talking about everyday shenanigans, the stuff that makes us mad, to the topics that concern why in the world do these guys have a podcast. Let's get to it.
Well, what's going on, you guys? Hopefully we can get the other intro to go for today. Let me close this out because I'm always end up sharing my screen and all that. So this is another episode of the Brothers Who Talk podcast. What's happening with y'all this Thursday? We got a special guest in the room.
Jill.
He really ain't special. He kind of just has to be with us. We see him every
He just
morning.
came by the house. He just
Right.
you here.
Right. He's always
all the way from home.
he's from the west side of Georgia.
West side.
But what's going on, you guys? How's you guys this week? We don't get started like that. How was you guys this week?
All is okay right now. Kids still in the school in the house kind of situation. Navigating that situation.
Right.
But we just making it. We're doing our thing. What about you, Pastor? How's everything going?
Man, all is well. We are actually on a countdown for picking up a puppy. So yeah, we're about to get a puppy.
Not a puppy.
That's what happens when you stay inside so long.
Hey, brother, we need a dog.
Y'all picking up puppies. Speaking of puppies, my wife and the kids were out yesterday. And this husky came out of somewhere and got loose from their owner's leash.
Okay.
And so she sends me a picture. I'm at work. She sends me a picture. Well, we got a husky now. What? Like, where did your dog from?
What?
Like, I don't do puppies.
Right.
I like, we had two dogs, but they gave me the flux, so I don't do it anymore. But he was a beautiful animal though. It had how huskies are. They had those really pretty eyes and all that. And I was like, okay, I don't care how pretty she is. You get out of here. I ain't want no smoke with the wifey. You feel me? I can't. I don't want no smoke when it comes to that.
I'm just, my thing is though, the dogs come into the house and everybody's like, "Whoa, we got a dog!" But who's gonna end up with this dog every day?
Right.
In my house.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this has probably been a 6 or 7 year process.
Yeah.
In getting to the point to where we actually identified the puppy and getting ready to go get the puppy. So I've spent the last 6 or 7 years talking about just that, brother. Who's going to deal with this dog?
Yeah.
Because children don't understand. They just, hey, puppy, nice puppy. It gets all excited. But when that puppy has to go outside and it's raining or it's cold, or that puppy has an accident and somebody has to pick it up.
Right.
Exactly.
Those type of things, like on good days and bad days, whether you're in the mood or not in the mood, that puppy, so
needs some attention.
yeah. So now I have, teenagers, and so they have said we are ready, and they've been saying we're ready for years now. And I've been a pet owner my whole life not my whole life, not the last 20 years.
Right.
But up until then, I always had a dog, always had something in the house. Okay. So I've been able to drill them on what the expectations are. So we'll see.
That's good.
Yeah, I don't do the puppies no more. I had one, and when we first got him, we thought, we had two dogs. The first dog we had, his name was Sparky, little brown dog, and he was the cutest little thing. He was like, and then
wait, Sparky.
Yeah. So what up?
We're just not gonna glaze over that. Just can't glaze over that. You just go with it.
What? His name was Sparky because he was the Spark Plug. He kind of just walked. He kind of did what he wanted to do. So he's a little thing, and he was a Chiweenie. That's what a Chiweenie. And then we got another dog, which was Sparky's uncle's sister or something. We didn't really know. We thought it was a girl at first.
Gotcha.
And I don't go around looking at puppies' private parts. I don't know what. And so we had and her name was Grape. It was a beautiful Grace.
Grace. Okay.
Dog. Yeah. And so we had that dog for about 6 months.
Wow.
So Grace and Sparky became tight. They were gangster. They would get out my fence. They'd be all over the yard and everything. They'd be all over the neighborhood. So they calling us. Sparky messed around and got into the pound because he was big. He wanted to be a hoe and he's straight. But I'm just saying that's kind of what he's from. And so well, he was. I didn't have fun about that. He was. And so,
Sparky was a Rolling Stone.
Rolling Stone.
He was a Rolling Stone is what he was.
Wherever he lifted his leg up, it was his home.
Yeah. And when he ain't dead yet. So also anyhow, we found out 6 months later that Grace was a male. But
Sparky was gay.
No, Sparky wasn't gay. That Sparky and Grace didn't do anything.
Oh,
okay.
It's the fact that we scarred this puppy for life because we called him Grace for 6 months, and he was a dude. And I don't know how many dudes named Grace out here in these streets, but we confused that puppy. So I blame, for a few weeks there, I kind of blamed myself, for scarring this dog for life and everything. But anyway, so anyone that's watched us for a long time, we're gonna get into our next portion of this. We're gonna get into a little bit of the news. And so the news is disturbing. I mean, because of course we are in the coronavirus era. The coronavirus has everybody home, and I was talking to some folks the other day or yesterday, and they're petrified of the coronavirus and going outside and possibly contracting this, because there are some people that are already predisposed because of health issues, whether it be COPD or anything like that. It's amazing to me that we're still. I mean, I know we're still having to deal with it,
right?
But it's more scary the longer that it goes on. And then I get an alert from Apple News every morning,
right?
And it doesn't seem to let up. I'm looking. I'm hopeful every morning I get my email that I'm going to see something good.
Right.
And every time you send me an email, it's like this morning it was the hospitals are running short.
Right.
The hospitals are depleting. What happens when the hospitals run out? And I'm like, can y'all ever shoot any good news my way? The price of Kool-Aid stock just went down.
It went down, right?
Help me out here.
I think, to me, I feel like a lot of news organizations ride on catastrophes. That's their point right there. Like, oh yeah, like CNN. If you ever watch CNN, they hold tight to catastrophes. Anything go wrong, they hold tight to it. Like I remember when the plane disappeared, they had graphics, and if you look here, they like bring the whole plane up. If you look here, like they love when things go wrong. As crazy as it sounds, they love when things go. I think, and I feel like weather people as well. Like that's when they get that shot. Oh, a hurricane's coming. I'm gonna be on a whole lot. Yeah. You're gonna see this face.
But
why hours, here comes a hurricane. It's right here. If you look at the path right here, they a whole time. So this whole coronavirus thing, the news organizations is they're like grocery stores, like, oh yeah, we're gonna eat this up. We're gonna eat this up.
Right.
Yeah. So it too much, like no one talks about the recoveries, because there's recoveries. There's recoveries. Every day there's recoveries. Someone's coming out of it, but they're not gonna. Those aren't the numbers they want to highlight. Well, and then in the small sense, I feel like they don't want to highlight it because people are going to be like, well, it's not as bad as it seems. Then you start teetering on, it's not really bad. We got 1,000 recoveries, and 1,000 new patients. So we kind of equaling out. So I think that may be why, but I know news, they love catastrophes.
They love to get, it's crazy. Yeah. But I don't know if you guys are Pastor Brian. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. What's your thoughts about the news?
No, I think we're drawn to drama by nature.
That too.
We're drawn to drama. If there's a fight going on, people don't run away from it. They run to the fight.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to know who's going to win the fight or who got the best lick in.
Oh my God. Look at.
That's right. We got to get that. We have to get it. Thank you. So speaking of drama. I don't know if you guys are watching the CNN drama with the Cuomo brothers, the governor of New York and the CNN reporter. They're brothers. And the
great reality TV.
I missed that. Oh, guys, now I gotta go check it out.
Every time he interviews his brother,
it's fantastic.
Really?
It's comedy. It's comedy gold. I'm telling you, these guys. I don't know if they had like trauma as kids or whatever. But
they brothers.
I'm telling you. Yeah, silky rivalry is one thing, but what they do is a whole different fact.
Man.
And the brother on CNN is positive for COVID, so he's home.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so,
he was home anyway.
Yeah. But when they do the interview, oh my goodness, I'm telling you, what the Cuomo brother, the governor of New York, should run for president. He really should. That is how leadership is supposed to be. Okay. Okay. I want to hear Pastor Brian. Pastor Brian, go ahead. Why do you disagree with that, sir?
First and foremost, just because he's telling you everything that's going on in New York,
right,
doesn't make him prepared to run the free world. To run America.
Truth, though.
Okay, truth is New York is the epicenter of the virus,
right,
and you would be less than wise to not open up the curtains and let everybody see it.
Right.
If you are in New York and trying to cover that up, you're a bigger fool than other people.
Right.
So let's not give him a break. Let's not reward him for being transparent.
Well, why not? Because the leader of the free world isn't.
Okay, so since you told the truth, I want to make you president.
No, I didn't say that. I said we the president.
All he's done, but I'm saying all he's done is told the truth.
Right. Most people
listen. All I'm trying to say is this. He's doing everything that everybody else is doing. The only difference is he's on TV.
Right.
He's fighting. He's trying to bring resources like everybody else.
Right.
The only difference is he's going to be on TV because he's in New York.
Right.
Okay.
That just makes him exposed.
Yeah, that's like my man from the mayor of in Louisiana. Remember when Katrina hit? I can't even remember his name now. Remember he was looking like, I'm in the trenches. I'm doing my thing.
Ray
Nate. Right. Yeah. But then you find out.
And then we found out he had anger issues.
Oh God, yeah.
And he was corrupt. Like he was a man. He was the man because he was sweated out. I was there digging out water. I'm here. And then he turned out to be corrupt. And then look at Giuliani. You wanted him to be president?
Yeah.
Because he was, he was holding it down. 9/11, got the cops. It's us.
But you know what I love? I love Chris Cuomo asked his brother. He said, "Hey, everybody's giving you props for doing your job." Okay. So here's the thing. He says that to him. Watch this. He says it to me. He said, "Well, have you given consideration to running for president?" No. Would you give any consideration to running for president in the future? No. Why do you say you would not give any consideration for running? Because I know what I'm going to give consideration to in my future. He goes,
right.
How can you speak now about what you're going to give consideration to in the future? He goes, I know what I want and I know what I don't want.
I'm telling y'all, if y'all have not, you guys have not watched the CNN interview.
I got to. Now I would definitely. It's been coming up on my feed a lot. It's been coming up.
YouTube it. It's amazing. I promise you be like, huh? How do we do this?
Because they always going at it in private, like just about everything.
And they're Italian.
Right.
So
there's
Italian. Dynamic of being Italian.
Yes.
Indeed.
They get into it about making sauce. It's hilarious, man.
I'm telling you. Great TV. It's great. I'm telling you, it's great TV. And so, speaking of great TV, I'm going to segue right into our first commercial break right here at 15 minutes. So, hold you tight for me. Don't go anywhere. Don't mind my computer. It's just showing.
Coming up. We got commercials.
We can hear the audio now.
Yes.
All right, kids. All right, that's our first official commercial break for the Chauncey Direct TV. Shout out to in the chat. But thank you again for the shout out for allowing us to be on the network. So thank you guys. So if you have not yet, go and follow Chauncey Direct TV here on Facebook, so you can get the Brothers Who Talk on Thursdays, or you can follow my page. It doesn't really matter. But either way, go follow Chauncey Direct TV. So Ediga, again, thank you so much. Appreciate you over here at the Brothers Who Talk. All right, so let me go back to my stuff here. So, AD, you gotta tell them why you're mad this week.
Yeah, I'm mad at these dogs.
Tell me why you mad, son.
I'm mad at these dogs. Tell me why you mad, son. Like, they are driving me bananas. So so today, so as you can hear, there's no scratching.
Okay,
so
put the dog out.
Yeah,
who let the dogs out?
This dude. So the thing is, I don't want to be too long about it, but I can't let my my girl, Pitbull out because she's found a way to get outside the gate. I don't know where she's digging. I don't know where the hole's at. I don't know if she's hopping over. That's even scarier. So I had to, and she's pretty friendly, but she's scary looking. So, like she's, and I don't ever tell people she won't bite because, you never know what a dog gonna do. So,
you never know.
So now I took her cage and I put it outside. So now I had one cage that's like just metal. And I got two dogs. So the other dog is fine being out. He found a way to push the cage open to let her out. Exactly.
That's scary.
So then I had to get the carrier that's plastic that they can't break out of and just stick them outside. Yeah. Somebody get these dogs. Please.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Well, you gotta, what? I don't know. Your dogs, man. Your dogs are mad loud though. That's good.
Yes. Well, I will say they're never crazy like at night, barking and doing silly stuff. So that I am blessed in that way.
Because they know they're gonna get a whooping.
Right.
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 Really scary looking. That looks friendly. Scary.
Right.
All right. Pastor Brian, what's gonna make you mad this week, man? Anything?
Man, look. Okay, so I pastor.
Yeah.
And we have been forbidden from coming together.
Yeah.
Now there's a real challenge in the faith community. Because you have pastors who believe in divine healing and divine cover, even in the midst of COVID-19, right? And then you have pastors who say, let me do what the leaders of the free world are instructing us to do by sheltering in place, not gathering together.
Right.
One pastor gets in trouble for having service, and he's got 400 people in the service, busing people in and everything. And another pastor gets criticized for not having service in his church at all because and the reason is, you don't believe God, you don't trust God. I'm mad because there are pastors debating whether or not to have service in their church. Pastors who are having service saying, I'm not afraid of no ghosts, are criticizing pastors who are staying home and keeping their people at home for the sake of protecting them. Pastors who are keeping their people at home are mad at the pastors who are having service because you're contributing to the problem. And they arguing about this stuff, man. And it makes me mad because leaders are debating an issue that's non-debatable.
Right.
So they got me mad, man. They got me mad. I need to go sit down somewhere.
Right.
As a matter of fact, Pastor, that was great timing that you I had to go in the background. That's why you got solo. So as soon as you got done, I was sitting down. So that's good. You guys, I'm gonna tell you why I'm mad today. I'm mad because I hate cabin fever, and I hate cabin fever because these kids lose their mind, bro.
Right.
And so they start online school. So they're supposed to be up right now doing online classes and all that. I'm thankful that they're not, because them two, They're on another level, bro.
Right.
But and so we're hoping, hey, the debate that we all gotta trust God, and it's definitely not. This is from Wanda in my watch party, and she said, I guess to your Pastor Brian, the debate is that we all gotta trust God. It's definitely not about man, period, as far as churches and congregating. So you're right about that, Wanda. Appreciate you. So yeah, cabin fever makes me mad because people lose it. You know what I'm saying? People lose it when they have cabin fever. They get delirious. They TikToking all day, Snapchatting all day, and it's crazy. So Kevin says, I'm mad at these teachers.
Why you mad, son?
Tell them why you're mad, son. You gotta see. You have to catch the audio version of the podcast to get that.
Wow.
Yeah. And I want to drop mine off too. Like, here.
I think it's just. I think the challenge is just, summer is usually the time we're with our kids the most.
Yeah.
So this is just the school time, and our mindset is like, I got to deal with my children a little longer than I'm used to dealing with them, because we all love our kids, but there's time. You go to school, I'm at work, or I'm at home handling my business, and we have separation. We need to be apart for a while, so I can miss you. So when you come back in my presence, I haven't seen you all day. Oh, come, babies, come.
He does me when I come home. Dad,
right? But when I'm going through my living room, my kitchen, and my refrigerator keeps opening up over and over, and then you see the eyes. Can I get a snack?
Yeah.
It's lunchtime. What time is dinner?
My mom used to say when I was a kid, she used to say, get out of my fridge when my light bill up.
Everything ran the light bill up. Close the door, my light bill gonna go up.
You trying to heat out outside? What's wrong with you?
Who didn't flush this toilet? Y'all gonna run my utility bills up. Everything ran the light bill up back in the day. Everything.
Yeah. I mean, we can go old school, but we're not gonna do that. That's another podcast.
I'll tell you something about the children being at home, because you're right. It's amazing how over the Christmas holiday you get excited because you don't have to get up with the children in the morning.
Yeah.
But right around January 2nd, where you can't wait for them to get back to school.
Right.
And they've been home for a couple of weeks now, so it's reblade around here. You gotta love them though. You really do. You gotta love them.
So Kevin's talking about the math is so much more different from what we were taught. We were taught to do algebras. That's the simple way. This crap is way more complicated and complex. Right? Yeah. He said, did the meme with the guy throwing the papers in the air? Right.
Okay, so here's what I found out, Kevin. I found out because, see, I have adult children and I have teenage children.
Right.
And I hope nobody gets offended, but I promise you, the math that you're talking about now existed then. You just weren't in that class.
Right. Yeah. Here's my thing. It doesn't matter what math it is. What I flunked it. So you could. I'm terrible at math. I'm bad at numbers. And you look at me and you go, wait a minute, don't you sell cars? Yep. Well, okay. So yeah, I hate math. I think one of my Devontae is not a fan of math, but he's good at it. He's not a not a fan.
Gotcha.
So let me take this off real quick. Hold on. All right, so what we're gonna do next, you guys? We're gonna get into some shout outs. I want to shout some people out.
Man.
Still getting shout outs. I want those.
It's so silly. That's Sam, my boo, in the
building.
Shout
out.
You gotta love it.
Hey, Sam.
And don't forget, I'm gonna shout out all the first ladies. All three of us have first. So I want to shout out to
first ladies.
I'm gonna shout out Lady Christelle McCrory.
Yeah.
I don't want
that woman that's been in the kitchen burning some stuff. Listen, this shelter in place has got me fed, y'all.
Yeah, we're gonna come out looking like Jabba the Hutt.
Look! Shout out Purpose for Forever.
Yeah.
There you go.
I don't want no smoke. We're gonna always shout in this section.
Right. Purpose for Forever. Indeed. Every Monday.
Okay. All right. So is there any, before we get into our topic, what I want to do next?
shout out one.
So we done while you're back.
This is the best.
I want, did either one of you guys have a word for it, a word that you want to share? We haven't done a word in a while.
A long time.
So
nah.
Do you have a word? How about you?
Off the fly.
Off the fly?
Oh.
Kevin
What, is this the uncomfortable silence? I
was like, somebody, anybody, anyone.
I wanted to put something in there so I can put the segue to the topic.
Let's go and roll into the topic.
Roll into the topic. We'll see, it's 30 minutes in, so it's
30 minutes. We got So I'm sorry, guys. We're on TV time, so we got we got a minute and a half to kill. So I appreciate you guys rocking with us and hanging out with us. Make sure you're sharing, you're tagging someone that can enjoy this podcast, this video podcast that we're having, and this will be available on podcast as well on YouTube. So make sure you subscribe. It's going to be a lot different. There's going to be music in it. There's going to be a lot more background, a lot of stuff happening. So you're going to get a different taste than what you see right now. This is just like the basic of it. But later on, it's going to be a little more happening and popping and all that great stuff. So I appreciate you guys rocking with us and hanging with us, because you could have been anywhere, but you rock with the brothers who talk. Always confusing those two. Yeah. But I appreciate you. Okay. So make sure, listen, sharing, and commenting. I appreciate you just being part of it. Right. He said makeup.
Soap, Terry.
I couldn't get it.
Soap.
Okay.
That's the word.
I got it. Break it down. Break it down. Break it down, brother.
Go ahead.
Soap is the word.
Soap is the word?
In the midst of COVID-19, in the midst of the coronavirus, I went to the pharmacy and I cannot find hand sanitizer.
Wow.
You cannot find it. Wow. It's not on the shelf. I don't care how hard you look. People are making hand sanitizer at home, so there's no alcohol on the shelf. But today the word is soap, because there's plenty of soap on the shelves.
Right.
Everybody's running to hand sanitizer, but nobody's buying soap.
Wow.
Do you know that soap is better than hand sanitizer?
Yes, indeed. Tell it.
Hand sanitizer's popularity is only supposed to be a gateway to you can get to some soap.
Right.
Do you realize that getting a bar soap and washing your hands is more effective than hand sanitizer? As a matter of fact, they say after 3 applications of hand sanitizer, you're supposed to go to soap.
Right.
I'm like, everybody sanitizing their hands, but nobody's bathing.
Right.
What's kind of the point? You're not killing.
And I also heard like too much hand sanitizers
will dry your
pores up, and you can actually contact more stuff with after hand sanitizer. Nasty behind you, so right. Right. Hold on. Okay, fine. I got one. Oh, we in 31. Oh.
Go ahead.
All right, mine is space. SPACE. 6 feet. Give me space. Mm-hmm. I go in the store. Give me space. You next. Don't get on my back. I know. They see you. I see you. Give me some space.
Yeah. Lions not going to go faster, man. Y'all quit that.
All right. Let's roll.
Hold on. All right. Look at that face. Look at that face. I come on, y'all see that. Quit. All right, hold up.
Really? That's how we do me?
30 seconds. Okay, maybe a little longer. Quick word from our sponsor. All right. Peace out.
the wrong one. That's 80s. What you call? That's 80s. What you call?
That looked like Sam Cooke.
Hey man, don't do it. All right, so we're gonna
move.
All right. All right, so we're gonna get into our topic today. Our topic is very important. If you are in here and you listen to us on Facebook, and I think I'm on Periscope. No, I'm not. Charm City Direct TV. I'm on my Facebook page or what have you. Please share this right now. The shenanigans in the beginning. If you want to share it, great. But if you did, that's fine. But definitely share it right this minute because we're going to get into our topic today.
Yes.
Our topic is: do you want to be right, or do you want to be happy? And the reason why I bring up that particular, I'm sorry, Sam. That's kind of how you sent it to me. So I had to play it. We're doing it on the fly, ma'am. But do you want to be right or do you want to be happy? And I was talking to Pastor Brian before we came on a little while ago, and he was like, okay, well, what angle are you coming from? And the angle that I'm coming from is, how many people do you know they just have to be right no matter how wrong they are? And how sometimes we miss our happy because we're in the pursuit of right. Now, this particular quote came from, I first heard it came from Dr. Phil. And so I don't want nobody to think that was my original quote, because it's not. But that I heard it from Dr. Phil.
We heard it from you, so it's your quote.
It's my quote. Okay,
that's how it works.
The hash is different. My name was Dr. But no, I got it from Dr. Phil. You know, we pay it forward. We help everybody out.
Right.
But I think back to my life and how much stuff.
Really, Sam? Being right makes me happy. Really, Sam?
I don't know when I believe that.
What for here? Yes.
Sam, and you said you're right. She goes, I know.
Right.
So I can remember a time in my life where I would sacrifice my happy just to be right. And we can't. I don't feel like we can do that. So I want to bring that particular topic to you guys today in this round table. I want to ask Brian to come in to interject, because he actually went deeper than what I said. So I'm going to give him the floor and let him explain deeper.
All right.
So Pastor Brian.
Okay. This is out of the book of Brian. I like to preface that because I'm a preacher, so people say, is that the word?
Right.
It's Brian chapter 17, verse 33. I believe and I'm saying just out of my own experience, I grew up wanting to be right because being right was empowering. Being right kept me in control. And I felt like if I lost the debate, or if I lost the edge, that I'm releasing control to somebody else. Right. So I always wanted to be right. I learned that being right all the time can lead to being unkind some of the time. When you talk about wanting to be right versus you do lose some happiness always being right. Correction is important. When you're right all the time, you don't want to hear nothing anybody else has to say.
Right.
Yeah.
People who are always right are horrible in debates. Because your mind closes. You everything revolves around what you think and how. You ever been with somebody who, you can tell when you're talking that they're not listening, they're just waiting for an opportunity to respond?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Wait, I'm gonna leave it at that.
It's like double dutching. Anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm wrong here. You guys agree with? Let me know if you disagree or agree. But I think too much right gives you a level of cocky. And once you get to a certain level of cocky, like Pastor Brian, to his point, he just said, you stop listening because you figure, I got it figured out already. I don't need you to tell me anything. I've been right 95.7% of my life. So I ain't got nothing you say. I've got this, and I feel like that is so wrong, and so many people are missing. Do you want to be? I mean, it feels good to be right. If don't get me, even when you're all the way right, it feels good to be right. But when you all the way wrong,
right,
and then you try to be right, and then want to be happy, it's kind of oxymoronic. Right. You're not gonna be wrong. I get case in point. I'm gonna give you.
Down.
I was cheating, legit, on my ex. Legit. I was taking phone calls. I was receiving pictures. I was doing out legit. I got caught. Handed with my hand in the cookie jar. There's nothing I can say. And I still fussed at her. Well, I didn't do anything wrong. I'm right about this. I didn't cheat. I didn't physically cheat. You know, the whole thing that we do as men. Well, I didn't physically cheat. I didn't, go to a house or whatever.
Hey, that maybe that's what you do. Don't be speaking for me.
I'm talking about me.
You said what we do as men. That's what we do as men.
My apologies. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, that's what I did, and it was like.
Now you know you're wrong for that.
Well, see, I have a Mac, so everything goes to my Mac. So my phone rings, my Mac rings. So anyway. So
does that make you right or wrong?
It makes it wrong. I should have set off my notifications. And so I was wrong as two left shoes, but then wanted to fuss at her about being right. And then when she didn't accept the fact that I was right, then I missed my happy. And then in hindsight, destroyed her. So I want everybody to catch what I'm saying, because it's a downhill spiral. Right. It's not just a one-time thing. Right. It's downhill. First you lie, then you want to err on the side of right, and then you want to be mad at her. Then it's a vicious cycle. So something does like I want to be happy, and in order to be happy, it takes work, because you gotta forget the fact that you're not always right. 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 You're not always right. AD.
Right. So,
hey, Mona.
That's the hit on it with the always waiting to respond with an answer. Because you're not really listening. You just ready to attack, or you're listening for cue points to attack upon. Like waiting for certain words or certain triggers. Like, oh, is that what you're trying to say? Yeah. You're like, did you hear the other stuff that I just said? No, you're not. So a lot of times we need to get into a position of, seeking to be happy, seeking to a resolve where both of us are getting what we need out of it. And yeah, some discussions could have a right and a wrong, but it's having that understanding of what's the point of our conversation? What's the point of our communication? What are we trying to get out of this exchange? If we're trying to seek an understanding, trying to seek a positive resolve, at least trying to move forward, and if there's a fault that needs to be accepted, accepting the fault and moving forward. But the person that is receiving the apology, not using that and beating them down, because I told you I'm right, but having an agreement, and what they say, walking in agreement, so having that conversation and at least get back to the agreement, and move forward.
Yeah. See, so, Chris Rossetti said it in my wife's party, and he says, because I can't, those comments I can't put up because he's not in the actual live, but he said he was the king of the last word. Right. And I used to be that guy. I failed miserably at it, but I was trying to be the king of the last word. His wife tells him, "You might be right this time." So sometimes we gotta pick.
Would you rather be right, or would you rather be nice? Right. Proverbs says, "He that is to have friends must first show himself friendly." Right. So I think there's a connection between the ability to be nice or be kind first above being right.
Right.
Does that make sense? I'd rather be happy wife, happy life. I had to learn the hard way. I mean, because the reality is, you can be right all the time and be alone because nobody wants to hear you.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, so
it's kind of like that guy at the job that know everything. You know, like he's real at everything. Like he can run the whole, but
in there, done that, got the button.
But because of his attitude, with that's not nobody want to deal with you. Nobody want to call you. Like, I dread having to call you. I know you can fix this thing, but I don't want to call you. I rather try to figure it out myself.
It's an insecurity. Always wanting to be right is it's a validation of an insecurity. A sense of belonging. You got to own something. You know, and I'm like, the first thing you need to do with somebody like that is make them a leader, and so they can see themselves.
Yes.
That's real. Because you're only as strong as those that are agreeing with you.
Right.
And so I, being right and here's the thing, nobody's right all the time. The only perfect being is God.
Right.
We were born in sin and shaped in iniquity, so quit fooling yourself. Right. You're not always right. And so I think we got to take consideration of that. Because always being right is exposed insecurity. That's what it is.
That is absolutely true. And and sometimes I know some people that the need to be right all the time is addicting. It's an addiction.
Yeah.
And they have to be right. And if they're not right, it falls apart. They fall apart.
Right.
It's like. All theories like they're on crack. Like, I don't know what to do.
You ever have that kind of discussion with somebody, and you're making the point that makes you right, and you're talking to them, and they just won't accept the fact that the way you're thinking is, I'm right. You're not right this time. And they just try to come up with every single kind of angle to come at it. You're like, you just said the same thing I just said. Just accept it. Come on, just raise your hands, receive it, and let's move forward. Let's just move on.
It's just like what Ramona said in the watch party here. I it would come up. Y'all come on to my page. If you guys are my watch party, come to my page or Trump Direct so we can see your comment. Ramona said sometimes you have to agree to disagree. Disconnect from the issue and connect back to relationship. And it's a lost art. Of connecting back to relationship. We want to. Society has changed so much. Because I remember back in the day when you reconnected back to relationship, you courted, you spent time, you were on the phone for 8 hours or whatever. I mean, we reconnected. Old school. Now it's such. Let's Netflix chill. Let's do whatever. Let's go out to get a bite at McDonald's because I can go for a Big Mac right now. That's the point.
I want some Chinese food. All the Chinese places are closed.
Anyway, Kevin said, as men, we got to learn to take L's every now and then. It's not. It's like
right.
Please understand that.
Listen, man. I'm gonna tell you something. I think as men, we take L's all the time.
We do.
Right. And what's surprising is, unless you're in a relationship with a man who is possessive by nature, men are constantly taking L's.
Yeah.
I think the old adage is the wife is always right.
Yeah.
Right.
So if anybody struggles in this area, I blame my wife. Because what did we say? That the Bible says agree with your adversary quickly. I grew up, old school men would say, man, just say yes.
Just say yes.
Just she gonna be right anyway. In her mind. And so men aren't the smart ones in the house historically, or at least that's the perception.
What's the perception? Right.
So just agree with the woman. Just tell her okay.
It's that. And I think that goes to a whole nother kind of conversation. And my dogs are protesting.
Oh no, man, I want to talk about this because I have a problem in my house. No, I'm just kidding.
But no. I'm just, like
make sure she's not listening.
Right. Sometimes negating what we feel. And we can do a whole nother podcast about that. Negating how we feel about a situation in order just to have peace in the house. You stuff your feelings down. You stuff what you think is something down in order. That when we talk about the happy wife, happy life adage, that just we know doesn't work because it crushes who you are. Man, give up by saying happy. We're right. It's not exactly. It's not healthy. It's not healthy. It's not healthy because we have feelings too. We get bothered by things too. We would like things to be a certain way as well, and so we at least come to a compromise and understand an agreement. We don't have to always totally agree. What do you say? You agree to disagree, but stuffing your feelings down for the sake of not fighting or not getting to a discussion that may be uncomfortable. I think is something as men coming in this next level of mandom that we in. No longer just taking it. Just so we have peace in the house.
Yeah, that's the level of tact when you're dealing with that. I think because I'm not gonna walk on eggshells, but I'm not gonna be Hitler either. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta find that balance in between. And for some men, it's hard to do. For me, it was hard to do because I did not know how to know the difference or to find a balance. For me, it was either A or B. I was either, or I was like, so I had to be A or B. There's no,
I like what you said, Kevin, to a certain extent. The compromising and dodging arguments is much more healthy than to be petty in relationships. Now, I don't think it's dodging. You have to come to a healthy compromise. I think it's okay to come to a healthy compromise, but I don't believe in avoiding confrontation.
Right.
Some things just got to be dealt with.
It's got to be dealt.
I think being right all the time. Sometimes for some people it is a means of survival. It's literally physical and emotional survival.
Right.
Being right all the time because you feel like you're losing your grasp, you're losing control. But at the same time, Samantha says, "I'm gonna need you to be a man. Stand up." Standing up is great. Dealing with the issues is what's right. Being right is not it. Just being able to deal and have a healthy conversation. We can disagree on a point, but the Bible says don't be disagreeable. To Kevin's point, don't be petty. We were talking earlier about sitting on the edge waiting to pounce on a statement. You miss the narrative, but you caught a word that you can use against somebody. I've often said, I used to feel like when I got into a deep conversation with my wife, I read myself my rights. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law.
I'm telling you.
Right.
Yeah. So my thing is, it's important to deal with it, but you're not going to always be right, nor do you have to always be right. Right. I think that you have to be nice. I think you have to be kind. I think, you agree quickly so that you can put the fire out. Somebody's got to take down.
Right.
We're always, we buck against each other constantly and wonder why the houses are in disarray.
Right.
Because somebody's always trying to be right, or somebody always wants to have the last word. Right. And it's just not healthy. And what happens is that stuff bleeds into the next generation because your children are watching you and they're picking sides.
Right. Yeah, they are. That's true. Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. So fellas, to Pastor Brian's point, if you don't know your Miranda rights, go ahead, Google that and memorize it because you want to make sure that you know those.
Know your rights. Know your rights.
On September 17th at 7:37 p.m., you said,
"I have the right to remain silent." Chris Rossetti in my watch party said the word of the day was soap. Which is a what they call that when you use letters for something else? Is it a
acronym?
And he said sanitizers obvious alternative people. Sanitizers obvious alternative people. So that was his word. Thank you for that, Chris.
Thank you, Chris, for educating us on that point. Appreciation.
Definitely education. Now, as we get ready to close this thing out,
yes, indeed.
I want the people that are listening to understand a few things. One, you don't have to be right all the time. Fellas, ladies, it goes both ways. Fellas, please understand that because at the end of the conversation you were right, don't make you, like I said before, it doesn't make you a Hitler, doesn't make you any better than the next person or even to her.
Right.
What in the world is that? Okay, so okay, so
being right at the end of the conversation does not necessarily equate to a win.
Exactly.
Right.
Know what a win is. Google it. It's always, it's not always beating her into a submission.
Right.
Until where you're the guy at the end of the day. But do you want to be right or do you want to be happy?
Right.
The world is full of right fighters who just feel like I'm justified in everything I do, but missing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So don't miss your happy.
Don't miss your happy. That's the word right there. Don't miss your happy.
Don't miss your happy. So we're going to play around. Pastor Brian?
No, that's it. I'm good, man. My thing is, I'd rather receive the correction and keep the peace than to own my right and destroy my household.
Right.
Exactly. AD, closing word.
That's it. Own your happy. Continue to live in peace in your household. And that peace means, having to have the discussions that even though they may be difficult, you at least maintain the peace in your household. You have peace, she has peace, and there is peace. you know. So you're just maintaining that.
You're a dude. I'm a dude.
We're all dudes. We're all dudes.
Keep the peace, and you can get a piece.
Hey.
Hey.
It's not like he's telling a lie. He's telling the absolute. Be careful. Yeah. If anybody offended by that, I'm sorry. The piece to get a piece. I had to do that. Yeah.
That should be a t-shirt. That should be a t-shirt for married men.
Right. That's what married men do.
You get a piece.
Right.
All right, so we're going to get out of here. I want to thank everyone on behalf of AD and Pastor Brian. I want to thank everybody that came through on Facebook and Charles C. Direct TV. Thank you for coming through. Make sure that you subscribe to the Charm City.
Yes.
Follow the Brothers Who Talk.
Yes.
Also, the Brothers of Legacy as well. I can't forget about that because we're the same three folks you see in front of you right now. Brothers of Legacy. We do this every morning, Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Don't come out here at night. Don't come out here at night.
For me,
we're on quarantine. We're on quarantine.
For me, it's 0 dark 30, but it's okay because it's awesome. Join us. We try to give advice, enlightenment. We talk about everything. We don't just stand up. We stand out.
Right.
That person. Is that wrong? Is that right?
We stand out. We don't stand out. We stand up.
There you go.
There it is.
There it is. The child today. Follow Tony R. Sanders and Dobby Creators. Yes. Follow Pastor Brian McCrory. Follow AD if you haven't yet. And we'll see you guys on the flip side of this. My intro or outro is someplace, and I'm going to find it. Hold on. I'm going to find it.
Okay, we'll wait.
Okay. Yeah.
Boom! I want to thank you for supporting the Brothers Who Talk. So listen, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. 2 things I need you to do. Make sure you comment, tell us how much you love us, and like this page. Oh wait, another third, subscribe. Make sure you're subscribing to the YouTube page. Make sure you're subscribing to our podcast, no matter what platform that you're listening to. So the main thing is, I appreciate you even listening and making it this far. Next, what I need you to do is to hit that link right there. Go to the Brothers Who Talk Now, and be a part of our growth. Support our Patreon page, get some behind the scenes of all our shenanigans, and learn some things. We'll show you how we do our podcast and the equipment we use and how we hook things up. All right? So thank you so much for supporting. Have an awesome day. And again, thank you.
Thank you for watching and listening to the Brothers Who Talk. With Terry and AD. Check us out again next week, where we bring you a steaming helping of common sense, laughs, and advice. We can be found on any podcasting platform, iTunes, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. We're also on milehighradio.com, Saturdays at 12 Eastern. See you there.